right, Barrister. Sometime in February, we sort of rejoiced a bit. Some Nigerians heaved a sigh of relief when it was said that we had boots on ground, the US, the Marines that were here in Nigeria. But it appears as though these guys have become even more emboldened and more brazen. At this point, we do know that at some point, we still talk about the fact that there's complicity, lack of political will. Is there an end in sight for this? Because, I mean, the picture Dele has just painted, I mean, it can't get any grimmer. I mean, is there any hope? Is there any way out? Because we keep talking about this every single day.
No, as long as you have a government that climbed into power by this same insecurity, using terrorism as a means, as a tool, as a political tool to get into power, you are not likely to have any end to it. And when I hear comments by people like Sultan of Sokoto, it's almost laughable, because this is a man who has never condemned any of these killings, any of these killings by Islamist terrorists. A killing happened in his own domain in Sokoto, where the young girl was killed under so-called blasphemy laws. Sultan didn't bother to condemn it. So for him to make comments that there are no plans to Islamize, I mean, he's just talking to himself. And but what I want this government to realize is this: genocide is an international crime, and under the international law, every country can punish perpetrators of genocide. So if it is deemed, if some countries deem it that maybe Mr. Tinubu's government is complicit in genocide, it may be grounds, or it may be ground enough for the kind of Maduro action to be taken on him. And I think it's interesting to know that even in the U.S. Congress, in congressional sittings, the need to bring Nigerian senior government officials of Nigeria to book, to justice for these atrocities, it's already been discussed. And that's why I will wish, nobody will want that to befall his country. I will hope that Mr. Tinubu and his cohorts will change, will begin to be more realistic and address these killings. That during the burial of victims of a past attack, there was no security provided. There was no, nobody came to protect the environment. It shows that the security architecture is defective. It shows that even whether it's the police or the military, that they don't really understand what they're up against. Any gathering to either commemorate or mourn or whatever for those victims becomes a sure target. So that this government allowed that kind of killings to happen in a place where they're being buried shows that this government is either bereft of ideas to tackle these issues. Because in any sane country, when you are burying soldiers, you secure the place. When you are burying victims of terror attacks, you also secure the place. But they allow this thing to happen to their own disgrace. And I just hope they sit up and be more